in a realm where shadows dance with the light, there existed a sacred temple known as the Sanctum of Balance. Nestled between the peaks of two mountains, one bathed in eternal sunlight and the other cloaked in perpetual darkness, the temple stood as a beacon of harmony. Here, the monks of the sanctum practiced the ancient art of balancing the forces of light and dark within themselves. Among the monks was a young apprentice named Kael. Unlike the others, Kael struggled to find his equilibrium. The light within him was strong, often overwhelming his mind with blinding optimism, while the darkness lurked, whispering doubts and fears that clouded his heart. Despite his efforts, Kael felt torn between these two extremes. One evening, the temple's elder, a wise and serene monk named Master Ryo, called Kael to the highest chamber of the sanctum. The chamber was a place of profound silence, where the light from the sun and the shadows of the night met in a perfect line across the floor. Kael, Master Ryo began, "You are not alone in your struggle. Every soul that walks this path faces the same challenge to find harmony between the light and the dark within." But Master Kael replied, "How can I embrace the darkness without letting it consume me? And how can I bask in the light without becoming blind to reality?" Master Ryo smiled gently and gestured to the line of balance on the floor. "The light and the dark are not enemies, Kael. They are two sides of the same coin, each necessary for the other's existence. The light reveals truth, but without the darkness, we would not understand the depth of our reality. The darkness tests us, but it also teaches us to value the light." Kael watched as the elder picked up a small, intricate mirror from a nearby altar. The mirror had two faces, one reflecting the sunlight and the other absorbing the darkness. This mirror, like your soul, reflects what you choose to see. If you focus only on the light, you may overlook the shadows that provide depth. If you dwell only in darkness, you might miss the light that guides your way. Master Ryo handed the mirror to Kael. "Your task is to see both sides and to understand that balance is not about equal parts, but about harmony. It is about knowing when to let the light guide you and when to let the darkness teach you." Over the following days, Kael meditated with the mirror, learning to observe both his bright thoughts and his darker emotions without judgment. He realized that the light gave him hope and direction, while the darkness offered wisdom and caution. Slowly, Kael began to find his center. One morning, as the first rays of the sun kissed the temple stones, Kael returned to the high chamber. Master Ryo was there, waiting in silence. Kael stepped into the line of balance and held the mirror before him, allowing both the light and the dark to converge in its reflection. For the first time, he felt a deep peace within, an understanding that the light and dark were not opposites, but partners in his journey. Master Ryo nodded in approval. "You have found your balance, Kael. Remember, the path of life will always have light and dark, but it is how you walk it that defines your peace." With newfound clarity, Kael bowed to his master and left the chamber. The temple, once a place of struggle, was now a sanctuary of balance, where Kael understood that life's true harmony comes from embracing all its shades.